Hello everybody and welcome to another knockoff review. In today's video we're taking a look at the latest offering from KO Company, Black Mamba. This is their oversized version of Studio Series Starscream, done up in his movie 2007 deco. He definitely looks the part. He's got the very good build quality that we've come to expect from Black Mamba, but he's not as big as I initially thought. Now, I didn't get a box or instructions with this. This is a pre-production sample. It got so delayed in the Chinese post that I think the final product has already been released. But as far as test shots go, it is pretty darn lovely. And here we have him on the rotating pedestal. Now, he comes sporting those plug-in weapons, very much like he had in the movie. And the thing that makes this version in particular stand out is those gorgeous paint applications. Now, I've seen some of the test shot photos with these jet thrusters mounted really high up on those wings. Yes, we have pegging points at the top there, but to try and give him some sort of movie screen accuracy, they have to be positioned much lower, as we have them here. And he has that plug-in butt tab at the back there as well, and those lovely wheels just on his hind legs to keep Starscream all tip-top and balanced. Now, taking a closer look around Starscream, we can see that really nicely detailed head. We've got that purple accent along the side there. Love what they've done with this guy. Really nice cockpit section there as well. Now, each one of these weapons tabs in, it just pegs in, and we can extend and bring those hands around. We have the ability to tab these thrusters or the guns into the arm, or alternatively we can tab in the likes of the cutting blade that can just tab in using this system here, or these pegs which tabbed in to that wrist tab. Really like what they've done. Of course, the majority of the work here was done by Hasbro and Takara, giving us the original mold, and then Black Mamba have done what Black Mamba do best, upscaling, repainting, and making it very tasty indeed. Inviting you all to a Starscream party. Here he is alongside his Studio Series counterpart. So as you can see, he is quite substantially bigger. I don't think they've really made much of a difference with regards to the mold. It's just exceptionally done paint applications. They've done a really good job. They've really made some of that detailing pop, something that in my opinion was lacking from the original Studio Series release. And of course, coming in from behind here, we have this butt tab section which has been added to cover up the mess of the back of those legs. Now, this is a plug-in extra, as to are the jet thrusters. They don't come as standard, they're a separate piece, so parts forming is involved, but it depends on how much you want this to look screen accurate, or whether you just want a fun toy with no parts forming. The choice is yours. I'll give you an idea of how he scales. Here he is alongside the official Hunt for the Decepticons version of Starscream. And then we have the TF Dream Factory version of Starscream, which is about a centimetre taller than the original. And then we have this Black Mamba version, which is obviously based on this Studio Series mold as opposed to the Hunt for the Decepticons leader, and again it is slightly bigger yet again. It's a tough call between these two. There's definitely a lot more heft to the TF Dream Factory one because it's based on that leader mold, but I really like how Hasbro did with the Studio Series. It looks good in both molds. It tidies up very well, and yes, it does have hollowed out sections, but that's because it doesn't have those electrical segments. In my opinion, we don't need electrics to make this a really good figure. Now, height-wise, he is a little bit shorter than what I was expecting. He stands around the 11-inch mark. That's about 28 centimeters from toe to head, nearly 30 centimeters to the tip of those wings. That being said, in the scale chart, it states that Prime is 28 feet and Starscream is 32 to 33 feet. So I actually think that works. That's a pretty decent scale. Whereas you look at the MPM-04 compared with the normal leader Starscream, they're about the same sort of size. I think we needed a slightly bigger figure, and this could be it. Here we have him alongside both of the Iron Warrior offerings. Brawl is kind of looking a little bit small now, isn't he, in comparison? Very much looking forward to, I believe it's Wei Zhang doing the oversized Brawl, isn't it? Looking forward to that, as well as the Megatrons coming from Black Mamba, and there's one coming from Dream Factory as well. It's a good time to be a Bayverse fan and a fan of these oversized knockoffs. Let's take a look at some of these accessories that he comes with. As previously mentioned, the chain gun and the rockets are actually detachable. They can just be taken off there. These thrusters on the back, they're tabbed in really firmly using this grooved section. Now I've seen people put them up there. I think that's too high. I don't think that looks as it should, so I like to just tab those into this groove here, slide that in and push that in. This is the skirt section. Now unfortunately my skirt piece snapped. It's a tab just there and a tab just in there. I pushed it in all the way and it was well and truly wedged, so unfortunately I couldn't get that back out, so it now looks somewhat naked. I'm going to take this piece out, put a very small screw in instead, similar sort of size as this, so I can still place that in, but that's very disappointing. But if you get your final copy, just be very wary of pegging this piece in. It looks the part, but can cause no end of problems if that peg breaks off. We get his gun, really nicely done there. Quite a rubbery texture to them, but again, nice paint applications on there. Comparing that to the original that came with the Studio series, and then we get his cutting disc blade as well. Nicely done, Black Mamba. Now let's cover Starscream's articulation. The head can look backwards and forwards. We can go up, left and right. No real downwards motion there, but we've got a nice upwards motion there. The back can tab in and untab, so you can have that angled as you see fit. The shoulders are on ratchet joints there. We have an upper shoulder rotation, which allows for a bend. So we can bring this arm all the way up on that pivot. Really nice stiff joint there. There's a rotation on the upper bicep, and we also get a bend on that arm. We get rotation on the wrist, as well as a forwards and backwards motion, and the ability to clench his fists. Unfortunately, we don't have any rotation on that waist. It's one fixed unit. We do, however, have the ability to bend these legs inwards, so we can bring his stance inwards. We can bend the legs out to the side on a nice ratchet joint there, forwards and backwards on a friction joint. We get a bend at the back of the leg, and we get a bend at the front of the leg there, and we get these lovely painted up blue thrusters, and as you can see here, they do shine on these pad sections here. We've got very highly reflective layers either side of these thrusters, and that blue sheen really does work wonders. As gorgeous as his bot mode is, and that is how he's going to stay on my display. I'm just going to change out his weapons just to show you how these work, and hope that none of the other pegs break in the process. As you can see, we can just add any of those weapons to his arm, as well as being able to tab them into the hand. Now I'd like to show you these compared to the Black Mamba Prime, but as you may or may not be aware, I'm actually moving this coming weekend, moving to a better property, more space for my children, kids first. And kids first, of course, and unfortunately most of my stuff is already packed in storage or on the truck ready to go to the new location. But hopefully once everything's sorted, I'll do you a tour of the new study. But yep, for now I need to just fold in those hands. These pieces here are actually going to untab and they lock into these arm sections here. That secures all of that into position. These thrusters, I'm going to move these off here so we can see what we're doing. And this piece here, that also comes untabbed. These are going to come untabbed from here, pushing away like so, and that reveals all of those wing panels. Poking from behind, push this crotch panel outwards, which in turn allows the head to come up, over and in, and then this piece comes down, tabbing and securing, covering off the head. Bring this piece here down. That's going to slide all the way down like so. It's going to fold in on itself and fold over again. Push these toes down, bring the wheels around, and there's a tab just here. The legs are going to fold in on themselves. So the shin tabs in to the thigh, push that toe down, and they're going to push and tab in together just at those thruster pieces. So again, switch that down, bring that toe in. Bring this all the way in, tab that into the legs. These arms fold inwards and upwards. This can then swing inwards, and with these wings still up nice and high, these will just come inwards and slide into that gap. There is a tab on the underside of this arm. That's going to tab in to that hand, and that's going to push and secure into position. These then tab in to the top of those thruster panels like so, pushing, securing and tabbing everything in as it should be. These are all going to tab in at the top. The wings are then going to line up and slide into position. Bring these tail fins up, and everything just pushes in, and then finally bring this tab piece over. That's going to push down there and lock, and that holds that nose cone section into position. Love that. Look, we've got the FF there, the insignia, got the artwork on the side here. Stepped down thrusters, the back there, really nice and tidy undercarriage, though can't quite get mine to tab in as firmly as I would like. I'm pushing that in there. I'm not hearing any satisfying clicks, but at the same time nothing is going anywhere. Everything holds together as it should. Now, just taking a look on the underside there, you can place the thrusters just on the wing sections, which look fantastic, but at the front here you've got these two pegs. I don't like things being unsymmetrical. I like everything to kind of have a place. You can kind of wedge that down, so you have the cannon section there. At the back here we have a place where we can either tab this weapon, or you've got two slots here which allows us to tab the spinning chain, or alternatively you can also tab this piece in. That just tabs in into the same slots as what this piece is, but I need to fix this first, or ask if I can get a replacement from somewhere like TF Direct. We've also got the option of plugging more things into the back of those wings. Not a fan, I'm kind of overloading it. I think that's there is such a thing as too much going on. But yeah, I would have liked maybe an alternative set of missiles, just so we can load those up on the wings, much like we got with the G1 toy, or at the same time maybe the ability to load those rockets up as well as load up those jets. But definitely loving that kind of blue thruster thing that we've got going on there. Slight difference in size and in colouring. And here we have the many colours of Starscream, looking very good in that jet mode. Now, personally, I do prefer the jet mode on the Studio Series. I just think they managed to capture the nose cone section better, but that may just be me. I just don't think, I think the air intake sections, for example, on the leader class are slightly too big. I think the colouring on both the Black Mamba and Dream Factory versions are really nice and bold, much brighter than what we got with the Hasbro Hunt for the Decepticon release, and again a lot more detail. The paint scheme on the Black Mamba version is very reminiscent of the MPM1 Starscream that we got, which was the masterpiece, I say that loosely, repaint of the Hunt for the Decepticon Starscream, whereas it has deviated somewhat from the colours that we got with the Studio Series. So I think it's potato. I've looked at various different images and stills from the movie, from the 2007 release, and it's difficult to see which paint scheme they're kind of gone for. Some images he looks really, really pale, and some he does have this kind of grey camo going on. Whereas, of course, in Revenge of the Fallen, he then decks those Cybertronian tattoos. They don't really care about blending in. And just an above look. It's a gorgeous alt mode. I stand by the fact that I think the alt mode and the bot mode are very, very good. Definitely works in both forms. And comparing them alongside the likes of the MPM-04, the MPM-03 and the MPM-05, albeit these are slightly different variations, I think he's going to fit in rather nicely. Yes, he is far too small to scale with these in his vehicle mode. I think these vehicles are 1/30th, I think, or 1/28th scale, and his jet mode is something silly like 1/50th. Those are just numbers off the top of my head. They're not necessarily correct, but they all definitely look the part. I really am gutted about that small piece on the back of my Starscream, but hey, it is a pre-production sample. I make all of these mishaps so you guys don't have to. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you a Black Mamba guy? Are you a Dream Factory guy? Are you both? Do you love your Starscream? Do you like all of your different decos? Leave a comment in the comment section below. I will try and answer as many of them as I possibly can. If you haven't already joined the KO group, then head over to Facebook and type in Ben's KO Lectables. And until next time, from myself and the Black Mamba Oversized Studio Series Starscream, good